there to share the wealth in that regard.
Boston was pushed down. 7 to shoot. Boston methodical. Undertake. After they had fallen behind by 6 in the quarter, then Sydney Colson, as Aliyah Boston has an extended conversation with the officials, and then is gonna get over to Angel Gray. Angel?
Aliyah Boston left the court visibly frustrated. Kelsey Mitchell had just dropped 24 points, running the offense out of position, and the Fever had battled back from 17 down without Caitlin Clark, plus Sydney Colson and Ari McDonald both out. They still had the game in their grasp. Then, on the final possession, it slipped away. A rushed shot, no timeout, and late whistles the coach would later call out. Afterward, Aliyah's post-game words were short, sharp, and cut right to why this loss hurts. But first, here's how it all unraveled. What's your take on this one?
7-0 Indiana run. They're within 2 and a foul. This time, Peckers does get the call.
I thought this might have been an offensive foul. Howard for the finish.
Indiana's considering challenging this call, but they will not, as Peckers gets free.
How do you run an offense when your entire point guard depth chart vanishes overnight? For Indiana, this wasn't theoretical, it was reality. Just days before facing Dallas, disaster struck in the Phoenix game. In a brutal sequence, Sydney Colson tore her left ankle and AR McDonald fractured a bone in her right foot. Both were done for the season. In one night, the Fever lost 2 floor generals, the players meant to control pace, steady possessions, and keep the offense on script. With Caitlin Clark already sidelined since July with a groin injury, Indiana suddenly had no top 3-point guards, no regular ball handlers, no one to handle full court pressure, and no one to run the system as it was designed.
What's the reaction been from you guys, the players, the coaches, to losing Sid and Ari?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, just brokenhearted for them. They're 2 really good people that you hate to see this happen to. They've been an integral part of what we've been doing, and so hate it for them. Unfortunately, it's part of the deal, and we've got to roll with it. And we've got players in that locker room who believe in one another, players in that locker room who are as competitive as all get out. We've got versatility, and it's going to have to be on full display. So I think now it's about playing to honor them, right, and playing for them.
The impact hit fast. Without a true floor general to settle the offense, breaking defensive pressure became a chore, turnovers mounted, and what should have been clean entry passes turned into contested scrambles. Against Dallas, those cracks split wide open, 17 turnovers, cashed in by the wings for 27 points. That's more than a quarter of Dallas's scoring coming straight from Indiana's mistakes, before the Fever could even set up a half-court look. Every trip down the floor demanded more energy, every pass felt riskier, and an already thin margin.
It's never fun to lose. I thought we got a pretty good look out of it. But again, I think, we shouldn't have been in that position to begin with. The 17 turnovers got us there. We shouldn't have even been there. But I thought, Kelsey got a look at it. It's unfortunate, but yeah, on to the next.
To patch together a workable rotation, the front office made an emergency move, signing veteran Odyssey Sims to a hardship contract. She had barely a day to skim the playbook or get a feel for her new teammates before being thrown into action. In her debut against Dallas, Sims logged 13 minutes, went scoreless, handed out 2 assists, committed 1 turnover, and spent much of the night gauging where teammates wanted the ball instead of playing on.
Just excited. I know that Indiana is a great organization, and just to be a part of it and just to be here with the great players that I'm going to be playing with, this is a great opportunity. I'm just happy to be here.
What's the most important thing for you in a situation like this, to just get acclimated, just to kind of get your feet under you and feel your way around the new spot here?
It's not my first time just coming to a new team and coming in and just being me. The biggest thing is just doing what I do best. Playing defense, playing hard, doing whatever the team needs. Obviously, I know they've been down with the injuries. Prayers up for Sid and Ari. Love them both. But like I said, I'm excited to be here, and I'm not going to do too much, but whatever coach tells me to do is what I'm going to do and have fun and enjoy my teammates.
That left Indiana with just one realistic option to handle the ball on nearly every possession: move Kelsey Mitchell out of her natural scorer's lane and into the lead guard role. There was no easing her into it. Every inbound, every set, every wave of defensive pressure fell directly on her shoulders. And it wasn't just a tactical shift, it reshaped the physical toll of her game. Mitchell now had to initiate possessions under constant harassment while still being counted on as the Fever's primary scoring weapon.
Kelsey obviously can play make, as she showed in the last game, but it's not like her most natural way of playing, I would say. Do you have to tell her to focus on that? Does she just kind of know that as the primary ball handler in these games, she'll do it? How does that kind of process work when it's not a true point guard at the one?
Yeah, I mean, I want her to just do what she's been doing. You know, she's been excellent all year long. She's been efficient all year long. Her decision-making has been on point all year long.
The Dallas game was a clear snapshot of how much those injuries dictated the flow. With a patched-together backcourt, every basket required grinding effort. Every turnover cracked the door for an opponent run. And yet, even in that weakened state, Indiana was right there at the finish, because the player carrying the heaviest load refused to let it go without a fight. That weight fell squarely on Kelsey Mitchell, the Fever's most dangerous pure scorer, suddenly tasked with running the offense from start to finish. Normally, she's catching the ball in scoring position, not dribbling through traps or orchestrating half-court sets. But with Carlson, McDonald, and Clark all out, she was the only real option to initiate. Dallas knew it. On paper, her line looked stellar. 24 points on 7 of 15 shooting, 4 of 7 from 3, and 6 rebounds. In reality, every one of those numbers came with nearly every possession starting in her hands against schemes designed to wear her down. Dallas sent extra help in the backcourt, trapping and doubling to make each advance up the floor a fight. Every made shot was followed by another possession where she had to break pressure, then still summon the energy and
Every single playoff game will be on our networks. As Mitchell finally gets a look, her first points of the second half. Curl it in, doesn't get the whistle. Indiana with numbers the other way. Mitchell in the corner, cutting. Big game from Aisha Hines-Allen off the bench. Mitchell sprints into the lane, finds Cunningham. She got it. On a 3, and it's a single-digit deficit.
It showed in flashes. A turnover here, a forced pass there when the lane closed too fast. But Mitchell kept finding ways to keep the Fever alive. In the fourth, down double digits, she drilled a deep 3 from several feet beyond the arc, then immediately motioned for her teammates to lock in defensively. Moments later, she ran a sharp pick and roll with Boston, threading a perfect pass for an easy 2. Those weren't just scoring bursts, they were leadership plays. With 5 seconds on the shot clock, Mitchell drove the lane, scooped it in, and cut the deficit to 1. Indiana got the ball back with 1.7 seconds left, but her corner 3 wouldn't fall. Dallas escaped with an 81-80 win in Indy. This wasn't her natural role, and it's not a sustainable blueprint. Asking one player to shoulder nearly all the scoring and playmaking makes her an easy target for a locked-in defense, and we saw that here. Every action began and ended with Mitchell, and when Dallas managed to slow her, the Fever's offense stalled. Yet the fact that she still had them within a shot of winning says everything about her resilience. Under those conditions, Mitchell came as close to maxing out her capacity as possible: engine, clutch shooter, and vocal leader, keeping teammates engaged through foul trouble and frustration with the officiating. For opponents, her stat line is the headline. For the Fever, it's the unrelenting work she poured in to hold the team together in a role she never asked for. And that's why fans are torn, angry at the missed opportunity, but in awe of what she gave.
So I wanted us to outlet and attack in transition. When it got to the point where we didn't attack and we just started dribbling sideways, I probably should have used it at the 3-second mark instead of a little bit later. I thought Kels might have had a baseline drive, that she ended up coming back to the middle, and so I didn't like that. But I did want us to push in transition with a low clock and limited opportunity.
And while Mitchell carried the heaviest load, she wasn't fighting alone. Others stepped into bigger roles, hitting timely shots, crashing the glass, and making defensive plays that kept Indiana within striking distance. Games like this reveal whose influence goes far beyond the box score, and against Dallas, it was the role players who refused to let the deficit become a death sentence. Sophie Cunningham was relentless, finishing with 14 points on 5 of 10 shooting, including 2 momentum-swinging threes that jolted the crowd back into it. Every make came packaged with her trademark edge, diving for loose balls, jawing after contact, and bringing the same fire her coach would later single out in praise. She publicly apologized for one heated exchange with the officials, but stood by the message she was sending. That competitive energy helped set the tone for the Fever's late push.
Chloe, you were on the floor during that late third stretch when the Wings went on that run. What did you see that went sideways for you guys in that stretch?
We were just turning over the ball. I mean, yeah, as I said, the 17 turnovers, and I think we just didn't match their physicality, and, you know, we needed to clean it up, and I think that's what happened in the fourth, and the girls come in and they really looked after the ball and, you know, shared the ball offensively, and I think that's how we got into more of a groove. It really started defensively, and in that third, we just let it slide. They had way too many, you know, points off our turnovers.
Subscribe and turn on all notifications so you never miss out.